Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Fifth Road Tarot. I am here to give you your weekly reading for the week of January 27th. So, just an FYI, and to let you know, tarot for me is about storytelling and using my intuition to help bring that story to the collective. This may or may not be a reading that resonates with you, and that's okay because of free will. We are allowed to select whatever works and does not work for us inherently. Um, so if you find yourself not resonating with this reading, perfectly fine. There are lots of other tarot readers out on YouTube, and I subscribe to quite a few of them because they are just the way that they tell the story of spirit in our lives is just so beautiful. And I learn a lot about how to bring my own, how to bring spirit to you all with my own, my own vessel. All right, so let me go ahead and ask Spirit to come in. Spirit, I ask that my ascended masters and teachers and enlightened and ascended masters and teachers and enlightened and ascended ancestors come through me to provide a general and collective, um, general reading for the collective. All right, it's early Monday morning. I still just getting my day started. So let's go ahead and get 3 cards for the collective, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, the Emperor card. Nice. Oh, there we go. And then we got one more card. Nice. Wow. Interesting. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And let's see. We've got the Emperor card. That is the number 4 in the tarot, major arcana. We've got the 8 of Wands, and we've got the Judgment card, which is the number 20 in the tarot, major arcana. So we've got 2 major arcana on the table. All right, give me 1 second, and I'll go ahead and give the reading after I look at the cards. Interesting. So the Emperor card to me is about when we think about a family and we think about all the people in that family, like just typical family, right? We think of the mother, we think of the father, we think of the child. To me, the Emperor is the inner father or the father figure. This is someone who um, seeks to provide structure, seeks to provide something very something physical, protection, authority. Um, yeah. So this to me is speaking about possibly a structure that is sometimes, and well, sometimes this also speaks to the patriarchy, um, the patriarchal systems that surround us, and that we have learned to adhere to. 8 of Wands is about action. Well, 8 of Wands again about action, but action, spiritual action. So if divine action, 8 of Wands is about this action coming toward the earth. So coming toward you, coming toward the situation. These are about blessings. divine actions, because that's what blessings are, right? It's divine action. So there is something coming from the divine, um, and there is some spiritual spiritual blessings coming from the divine. All right. So now we have judgment. The judgment card is this is the second to last card in the major arcana, and to me it kind of looks like a first aid, because I see this cross on the flag. This is the first aid card, and judgment, it's kind of a graphic card in the way that, when I just talked about family, right? Um, the father, the mother, and the child. This is all of these, and you've got more figures in the background, but these are all figures that were once honestly dead, coming back to life. They are rising from their graves, um, and being brought back to life by this angel in the sky. And here is where I see these blessings from heaven are coming in to call us back to life. Um, and again, even though the patriarchy these days is kind of a bad word, but I'm kind of using it in the technical sense here. Patriarchy is this is the system that we have adhered to. But in this card, if we look at the family again as the structure, as the inner structure, so if internally we have our inner masculine, our inner feminine, and our inner child. I think I might have mentioned this in a reading a few weeks back. Um, but the emperor represents our inner father, our inner masculine. Blessings are coming in, right? And to try and, I believe, save this inner masculine so that the family is once again called to life. Internally, externally, we are being called to life to really examine how we're living, really think about what kind of world we want to live in, because the world card would be the next card after the judgment card. So we're really telling ourselves some big truths here with the divine, the blessings that are going to come in. Ooh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna look at the bottom and see what the overall energy is. The overall energy here is the Strength card. This is another, you've got three major arcana on the table, and the Blessings card. So the Strength card, you see a woman petting a lion, and she's got this infinity symbol over her head. This is about, strength, because this woman is coming up and petting, a lion in the wild. That takes real, not just strength, but courage. So I think what we're looking for here, what we're looking at here, is blessings are coming in, right? To call us back to life, and probably in particular our inner masculine, our own inner structure of what we believe masculine should be, so that we're all together coming back into this centralized idea of being. So internally, if we have the inner masculine, inner feminine, and the inner child, we are healing all three, and we are finally brought in our inner masculine to heal, right? And finally bring strength into our own inner family. And that will allow us to accept, I believe, more blessings, change. But what we need to be careful of is rejecting this divine offer, because this emperor combined with this strength can be very, very stubborn, very, very set in their ways, very, very unlikely to see um, the blessings, the divinity coming in. Someone who, may or may not believe in these things. And this is it is really hard to get an emperor to believe in a power higher than themselves. Um, but once we identify the things that have happened in our lives that have actually maybe saved us from danger or harm, and internally we we start accepting, right, that these things have happened that have come in to save us. We can understand and now we allow ourselves to heed the call and come back to life. And we bring in strength when we do that. But we have to be careful not to let our ego not believe in the divine, in divine action, in these blessings. We have to listen and heed the call of our higher selves in order to unite our own internal family. Wow. Okay. I want to get some guidance on that for you, because I do think that is a very powerful message, but I really want some good guidance. Good guidance. Let's see if I have time for a Rumi card. Let's see. Archetypes. Now I'm going to read a Rumi card because I think this is perfect. So this is my from my Rumi Oracle deck. I love this deck. It very often provides some amazing guidance. Actually, you know what? No, okay. This is a feel-good deck, and I want to use it, but then as I was looking through it, I saw my Power of Surrender cards. And I think that's what's necessary in this reading, for us to allow this emperor, so for our inner masculine to accept blessings, surrender. Let's see if we can find out what we can surrender, what we can let go, in order to create this inner family, this sense of inner family, versus, forcing our way externally. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead. This is a very pretty deck. I love these edges. They're so pretty. Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff, MD. Let's see. Spirit, what can we surrender in order to be able to accept divine intervention and divine judgment? What can we surrender in order to heed this call to life? Can we get a card, please? Some guidance, Spirit, for this reading. Some guidance for this reading, Spirit. All right, I'm going to try one more time, and if not, it's not meant to be. Some guidance, Spirit, please, for this reading. Some guidance. Okay, Spirit doesn't have a card. Cool. I surrender to that. And I'll go ahead and do the Rumi cards. All right. Okay, Spirit. Spirit of Rumi, Spirit of Love, do you have any guidance for this, um, for this reading? Any guidance about accepting the call, accepting the call, heeding the call of our higher divine self. All right, Spirit, any guidance here, any guidance. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. If not, okay, any guidance, Spirit. Oops. Ah! Okay, Layla. All right, and that adds up to, that's a 34 card, adds up to a 7. Okay, the Layla card. And I'm gonna try and read all of it, but these are actually really, really kind of long for reading, but I've only chosen one card, so it should go hopefully very quickly. So Layla. I have a friend that has a dog named Layla. I'm gonna set that card right. Let's see if you can see it. If I set it right here. Yeah, no. Let's see. I'm gonna set it a little closer so you can see. All right, Layla. Put aside your clever schemes. O lover, be mindless. Become mad. Dive into the heart of the flame. Become fearless. Be like a moth. Turn away from the self and tear down the house. Then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover. Live with lovers. Clean your chest from all hostility. Wash it 7 times. Then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love. Be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. When going to the gathering of drunks, be a drunk. Become drunk. Your thought takes a course, dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought. Let your heart lead. Be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb. Be a comb. How I long for my thoughts to no longer, and that was a poem by Rumi, and now goes to the reading. How I long for my thoughts to no longer make any sense to me. Then I can be rid of them, like noisy house guests who have overstayed their welcome. Oh, the peace when they finally go. Their incessant chatter brings me no comfort. I crave the silence of you. Will you let me hear it? Will you run through the noisy house of my mind with your great muddy feet, so that I can focus on something other than my mind for a while? Maybe you can make such a mess that I shall give up my plans and attempts at order completely. Just give in for a change. It's time for that. To give up my ridiculous fantasies of perfection. Useless, noisy, irritating, demanding, and yet deadening perfection. I'd rather just be alive. I want to plant my head in the earth and the same mud that sticks to your feet and breathe in her rich soil smell. I want to feel her heart beating and the quiet movements of the roots of the plants as they stretch and grab and stop my ears with her fertile dirt, finally gaining peace from the constant infernal racket of thoughts no longer wanted. Oh, beloved, how you are envied. You are being given the gift of no self, no noise, no sense. Yeah, I think so. As I'm sort of reading through this, I'm kind of getting the sense that the emperor needs to let go and let these blessings happen. Let go of that sense of self, that ego of being, the one and only male, the one and only, the only one able to or capable of, and be called into this new life, right? Okay. The great beloved truly wants you to be closer than ever to the wild universal heart. In that field of love, every electronic device goes haywire, systems collapse, worlds collide, and great stars are born from the chaos. But the real you will sense none of this. You'll be staring at your beloved, so intoxicated by love, your tongue will loll out of your mouth, and you'll drool like a bloodhound. And you won't care a hoot, neither will the great beloved. Such will the passion of your reunion be, that the only thing to matter will be the one great love exploding inside your being. So who cares if you have no idea what day it is? What was your job supposed to be again? Or how to make conversation, let alone intelligent conversation, at the dinner table. Ah, well, you shall not be yourself anymore. You shall not be yourself anymore. You shall not be so appropriate or sociable. Who understands crazy words that fall out of your mouth, unchecked by logic or rationality? I do. I know the beloved too. I am under that same loving spell. I, like you, have no I anymore. I, like you, am so crazy with love that I care not for the things making sense anymore. I, like you, long for my night of love with the great beloved that ends me forever and renders me only and ever the lover of the great beloved. I see this higher self as someone calling you to love. And even as I was speaking about this, I felt there was a block. I felt a blockage of what I was saying because I was, when I see the emperor, I think of that structure. I think of the structure that comes with, thinking and logic and things like that. And, love, when it calls you, you have to answer. And I think that this emperor is being called to love. And it's going to take a lot of strength. And if you're not seeing the offer that is coming, this is the perspective of the divine looking at you. Because right now, you might be in a situation where you don't feel alive inside. You don't feel, the love that is described by Rumi in this Layla card. Whew, wow, wow. And I'm gonna go so far as to say you feel dead inside, and this this higher self, this higher love is calling you out of your grave and into something new. I, like you, long for my night of love with the great beloved that ends me forever and renders me only and ever the lover of the great beloved. I call that night forward from my love crazed heart, as do you, that Laylat al Qadir, the night of destiny. Let us run together and pound on the bedroom door of the great beloved. There is no shame. There is nothing else worth holding on to. Let us go now and throw ourselves upon the good will of the Creator. Our hair shall be messy and mingle with the curving galaxy, and the planets shall grow rings around them, becoming the many eyes of the great beloved, delightfully bearing witness to our loving, passionate surrender. This oracle brings you a message. You are moving through a period of not knowing, of time in the great void or womb of the Divine Mother. Wow. If we look at the Emperor as the Divine Father, moving into the womb of the Divine Mother. It is in this place the seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light, where all is seen and recognized. It must happen under the cover of darkness, where only trust can assure one of success. This is the way of nature, the way of life. It must be honored. This oracle brings you ancient wisdom. It guides you not to fear the darkness, but to enter it willingly. Not to fear the darkness, but to enter it willingly. It is not for you to become lost, but to find your way. This oracle is saying that in the darkness there is the path, da tariki, tarikat. Do not turn away from it. Let it be, with the lack of knowing. Be with the lack of knowing. When people ask of you so many questions and demand sensible answers to support their notion of reality, do not bow to such unworthiness and fear. Know that their minds may be fearful for your safety and their own, lest your divine madness be contagious, but that their